It's our favourite posh green vegetable, and we used to only be able to eat it a few weeks of the year. So how can fresh asparagus now be available all year round?
How is it that every time I come into your store, there's asparagus on the shelves?
I have absolutely no idea, if I'm honest with you. I don't even know what asparagus looks like.
I've got some of your asparagus. Why is it all the way from Peru?
I've no idea, actually.
I mean, I'm guessing that there's probably an asparagus season there as well.
I would think so, yes.
It can't come from Peru all year round, can it? The supermarkets were very helpful, but Kate is none the wiser, so she's heading to Peru to find out.
We're on an aeroplane flying to Peru, and we're going to get to the bottom of how this stuff is available all year round.
Kate's travelled to Ica, a busy district in southern Peru.
Hola! What's this? Ah! Figs! Can I try? See?
Olives and figs are the traditional crops cultivated in this area.
Mmm, delicioso!
Now, Ica's the asparagus capital of the world,
Muchas gracias.
exporting 6.5 million kilos every year to the UK alone.
See?
Hola!
Kate's come to meet local resident David Bayer.
Oh, look at this! Like a little oasis in the desert. Should we go and see some asparagus?
Yeah, let's go.
David's worked in agriculture for 30 years, witnessing the asparagus boom in the Ica Valley firsthand.
It's so dry. I can't believe you grow anything here, to be honest.
The Ica Valley's a desert area in the Andes and one of the driest places on Earth.
All I can see is desert. You take a little look out of here.
Asparagus field.
That is an asparagus farm in the middle of the desert. Do you eat a lot of it?
Well, actually, we eat very little asparagus. It's not a traditional crop.
So it's a crop for export.
In fact, 99% of the asparagus is exported, so hardly any is eaten by the people who actually grow it.
Hola!
Farmer Jorge Rabata has a small 20-hectare plot.
Hola! Now, I tell you what, this asparagus looks nothing like how I expected. So where is the spear? Where's the bit that I eat?
Este es el espárrago que está brotando. Ya está botando otro brote.
That is incredible. So you've got this kind of bush, which I assume obviously is absorbing all of the light. And then here you've got the asparagus spear, which is what I'm used to seeing in the supermarket back home. Can I pick this one? Is it ready?
¿Puede recoger esto?
Sí, si quiere que lo
¿Sí?
saque, no hay problema.
¿Sí?
Ya. Okay. Bueno.
Oh, delicious.
Perfecto, sí.
Perfecto. And so does this plant grow asparagus all year round?
En Ica tenemos un clima.
In Ica, due to the higher temperature, the intensity of light, we actually can produce asparagus virtually year-round.
So in Ica, asparagus is always in season, thanks to the fertile land and sunny, arid climate. But there's another vital ingredient that seems to be missing.
Now, this plant is not a cactus, that's for sure, and we're in the desert. So, I mean, where on earth do you get your water from?
Typically, farmers rely on rainfall to grow their crops. But in this unlikely desert location, there's a very different source of water.
Okay, water comes from the underground water. That's the aquifer below us.
So the water comes from underground?
Yeah, wells.
It's hard to imagine, but water's actually flowing underground across this desert region. It's carried in a layer of permeable rock known as an aquifer.
The well is on the other side of the farm. That's where the water is pumped from, and then it runs into the field and flood irrigates the field.
This ancient method of crop irrigation has always been used for farming in the Ica Valley. But to grow his asparagus, Jorge needs to immerse the whole field every 10 days.
They need to open the floodgates all the way down there at the well. The water flows down here into this big gully, and then it opens comes up and the water flows all the way down here. And look how big this field is. Can you even begin to imagine how much water it takes to flood a field like this? Crazy.
In fact, the amount of water Jorge needs every year would fill 9 Olympic-sized swimming pools. But this is nothing compared to the water consumed by the large-scale farms dominating this area. Later on, Kate finds out how the locals are being affected by water shortages.
It's bone dry right now.
Now, for a fancy feast, fish fits the bill. But for the freshest tasting fillet, should you head for the fish counter, the fridge, or the freezer?
What is the freshest fish that you sell? Is it the fish that's in the fridge?
To get the product at its best, really, you're better off the counter.
How long has it been from coming off the boat to being in the counter then? It wouldn't be more than, say, a couple of days though, would it?
No, certainly not. We wouldn't be able to sell it as fresh.
Fish that's displayed out, that would be the freshest available.
So, you can give it a sniff, but is there a better way to work out which fish to put in your dish? I've come to Billingsgate, the biggest fish market in the UK, to ask the experts.
All right.
Nice to see you.
And you, and you. So how can you tell fish is really fresh then?
You can see the bloom on it.
Yeah.
You can see it's shining. It's absolutely beautiful. Have a look at the eyes.
So that's a lovely clear eye on that herring.
Exactly. You've got it. Real good fresh fish. Doesn't smell. I mean it. Put your nose right in it.
The fish here come virtually straight off the boat. But if you can't shop at Billingsgate every week, what about the fish in our supermarkets? I've come to Aberdeen to visit one of the country's largest fish processors.
Welcome to Northern Seafoods.
Hi, Doug.
Absolute pleasure.
Doug Rennie's fish arrives every morning from nearby Peterhead, the biggest fishing port in the UK.
This fish has come straight from the boats?
Yep.
But look at this beaut. It's as fresh as a daisy and it's freezing cold. There's fish everywhere. Endless fish. Be all right if you're a penguin, wouldn't it? Whoa, check this out. How much fish would you get through here in a day? There's so much fish here.
40 tons.
40 tons of fish a day?
Yeah.
That is incredible. Look how fast this guy is here. That is just insane. So there we go, look, there's the end product. 2 lovely fillets of fresh fish, but now something different's going to happen. One's going to be fresh and one's going to be frozen.
Yeah.
While one of the fresh fillets sets off straight away for the supermarket shelves, the other one takes a quick detour.
What is that stainless steel little conveyor?
Stainless steel, continuous conveyor belt.
I haven't got fishy fingers, I'm not quick enough.
These fresh fillets are heading for the deep freeze and emerge on the other side just 15 minutes later.
Well, here it is. Totally frozen.
Absolutely.
So, how do fresh and frozen fillets compare when they reach our plate? I'll be finding out later.
That stinks.
It's not good, is it?
But first, it's spread on sushi, it's hot, it's green and makes your eyes water. But what is wasabi? Matt's taken it to the streets.
Do you know what wasabi is?
It's Japanese something or the other.
Oh my God. Quite pokey. Yeah? Yeah, God, that. What?
That's not bad.
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, we think it's mushy peas.
Whatchamacallit?
What?
You get like spinach and whoop it up.
Is it avocado? Is it a seed? A bit like mustard seed?
Matt's hot on the trail of this curious condiment. It's leading him deep into rural Dorset. He's come here to meet James Harper, who runs the only wasabi farm in the UK.
Nice to meet you, James.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit away from here and it's a secret location,
Oh,
so
really?
hence the meeting
Why
here.
is it secret?
Really, because we want to protect our intellectual property rights. We're the first people to do it in England, but
Right.
also it's a high-value crop as well. And,
Great.
And it's quite difficult to get to.
OK, let's go. Where do we go?
OK, follow me. OK, here we are, the wasabi farm.
I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest.
Samurais?
Well, yeah, to be honest, that would have been quite nice. A little bit of theatre.
Right, yeah.
Really is kind of shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
Is this wasabi?
Yeah.
Wow. So this water, it's actually flowing?
This is spring water flowing through the length of the beds, yeah.
Wasabi plants are usually grown in the mountainous areas of Japan, near natural streams shaded by trees. At this farm, this oriental microclimate has been painstakingly replicated.
Commit to a plant that you think looks nice.
Commit to plant.
And see how it goes.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Look at that.
Wasabi paste is produced from the rhizomes of the mature plants.
It's not a root, it's the storage vessel of the plant that you grate, and that gives you the top quality wasabi paste.
So this ultimately is quite an expensive crop, presumably, because it takes, what, 3 years plus to get to that stage. You've got thousands of gallons of mineral water.
Yeah,
flushing
absolutely.
Through the
I mean,
ground.
something like that would be potentially 15 to 20 pounds.
Really? That much?
Yeah.
It's no wonder wasabi is one of the rarest and most expensive vegetables in the world. Now, Matt's going to make some wasabi paste.
So when you've got a nice amount of paste gathering there, then next you take a little bamboo brush.
Yeah. Love this.
And there's your wasabi paste.
That's it?
That's it. That's all it is. That's 100% wasabi.
Why can't you find pure wasabi paste in most supermarkets?
Wasabi is very difficult to get fresh. It doesn't keep very long if you want it to sit on a supermarket shelf. And also, it's quite expensive. So from a cost point of view, it's far easier to put horseradish, mustard, food colouring in a mix than fresh wasabi. Some of the best paste and powders have got, 2 or 5%, but most haven't got anything at all.
Horseradish and mustard taste similar to wasabi.
That's quite a generous portion.
And have the same effect on the mouth and nose.
It blows your head off.
But why do the ingredients of wasabi paste pack such a punch in the nostrils? Earlier, Matt travelled to a secret location to track down the only wasabi plants grown in the UK and set his nostrils on fire in the process.
It blows your head off. Yeah, this would be great, thanks.
Matt's come to an ear, nose and throat clinic to meet surgeon Dr. Gerald Brooks.
This is Matt the
Hello.
wasabi victim.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
And neurophysiologist Dr. David Anderson, who's an expert in how the pain receptors in our body react to different substances.
Wasabi and also horseradish and mustard have evolved to deter animals. So when vegetable is grated or damaged, they release irritant, volatile compounds and stimulate pain receptors on small sensory nerves in your nose.
Right, off we go, Matt.
When you're rubbing your hands, I'm not sure I like that.
Dr. Brooks is on hand to perform an endoscopy.
So we're going to introduce the endoscope through the nostril.
So how big's this camera? Is it smaller than that finger you keep shoving up there?
Only just. Now, Matt, you must not move at all, or laugh, or joke. This is no joking matter.
Dr. Anderson's got something special lined up for Matt.
I think it's time to give you quite a robust dose of wasabi.
Okay, it's quite a lot, yeah?
It's a mega dose of freshly grated pure wasabi.
Okay, that's like set my nose completely on fire. It feels clear.
Dr. Anderson's research found that grated wasabi tricks the brain into thinking the nose has been cleared.
Do you feel as though the nasal airway's better?
Yeah, I do.
But eating this volatile compound actually increases the amount of mucus.
But there is actually mucus trickling down there.
There it is, evidence that wasabi has made Matt's nostrils start to fill up, even though his brain has been tricked into thinking his nose has been given a spring clean.
Ah, jeez.
Some sushi this evening?
No, actually. I've had my fill.
Kate's in the Ica Valley in Peru, where they've created the conditions to grow asparagus all year round. But farming this vegetable can require so much water that it's depleting an already fragile water supply. Kate's come to talk to some of the local villagers whose daily lives are being affected by a lack of water.
Pero ahora con estos pozos que se han hecho, ya se está racionando más el agua a la población.
The water supply's always been rationed, and now it's just 45 minutes a day 3 days a week.
So it comes through here, and then you fill this up?
Yes, yes.
It's bone dry right now.
Ahora actual, probablemente si se sigue depredando el agua, puede ser peor, quién sabe, una vez por semana. Me siento molesto, pero también si quitamos el espárrago para el mundo, los deportistas que tal vez, y nosotros acá nos quedamos también un poco mal porque mucha gente depende de los agro, la gente que no tiene trabajo.
So asparagus farming is primarily responsible for the near zero unemployment rate in the Ica Valley. But is there any way to grow it without depleting the local water supply? Kate's heading even deeper into the Ica Valley desert to visit one of the region's largest asparagus farms.
Hola, Misha, Kate.
How you doing, Misha, David?
So this is an asparagus farm right in the middle of the desert.
In the center of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere.
This giant agro-exporter grows asparagus on a 120-hectare plot, producing up to 22 tons a day. Misha Hadras is the designer of the computerized irrigation system that's been installed here.
Wow, look at this.
This is a power center, pump center.
It measures the temperature, humidity and wind factor before pumping out the exact amount of water, and uses 70% less than other irrigation methods.
So would your goal ultimately be to water all of the asparagus that's grown in Peru using the system?
The idea is to aim at the largest farmers.
If we take about the 20-30%, that the bigger ones, to change the system.
These largest control virtually 80% of the water that's used. The savings would be enormous.
So sustainable farming methods saving valuable water could be the best way forward. Then our year-round appetite for asparagus can continue, which will provide vital jobs and incomes for the local people.
Delicious.
Now, back to fish. I set out on a simple mission to find out which type tastes the freshest. I've bought a selection of fish from the leading supermarkets. Fresh, chilled and frozen fillets are going head-to-head in a fishy face-off. Independent fisheries consultant Richard Chivers is lending us his nose and his palate for the proceedings.
Now, I've brought some fish for you to test.
These fillets were all bought within the expiry date and within an hour of each other.
What are you going to do? A nice sort of white wine?
Fry it?
Yeah.
No. No, sorry, you can't have that. We had no flavours.
Richard's going to steam them and then grade them using an industry-standard criteria called the Doherty scale, which assesses the appearance, odour and flavour of cooked fish.
What's good fish and what's bad fish?
8 and above has sweetness, and that's great.
Yeah.
But once you get below 6 into the 5 region, that's where you're getting off flavours and you just don't want it.
So that one's sliced up. This is...
Yep.
Fish straight from the sea would have a score of 10. Fish that is badly spoiled and inedible would have a score of 3.
Right, well, that is now cooked.
We're going to test 2 samples of each type of fish. First up, the packaged fillets, which have a day left before they expire.
It's got quite strong flavours of fish. It's not unpleasant.
Both have a sweet and sour smell. They score 6 and 6.5 out of 10 on the Doherty scale. The equivalent to a fish kept on ice for between 8 and 11 days.
You must be a nightmare when you go to the fish and chip shop. Do they go, oh, here he comes.
Yes.
Here comes Here comes Sniffy.
Next up, the 2 fillets sold fresh off the counter to be used within 24 hours.
Oh! But that is smelly. Oh, I've got a bit of the juice on it.
There are off flavours there.
Oh.
They both get a Doherty score of 5.5.
Slight sourness and a trace of off flavours.
That is nasty.
Which is equivalent to fish kept on ice for between 11 and 14 days.
Is fish that's off going to make you ill?
No, not the whitefish. So we're okay with this.
Really? Even if it stinks?
Yep, even if it stinks. I've eaten this stuff 28 days old, a month old on ice, and it was like slurry. It was awful.
Ah! Why doesn't eating off fish make you ill? That doesn't make sense.
Well, the whitefish don't produce any toxins that are going to harm you, and they don't have any chemicals in them that would harm you.
Even so, given the smell and appearance of fish when it's gone off, it's not worth taking the risk of ignoring the sell-by date. Finally, it's the frozen fish.
Well, it's not... Do you know what?
That's
the
not bad, is it?
previous couple of the ones from the fish counters, we've gone, whoa! I haven't got that this time.
No. Oh, that's good.
That is sweet.
That's sweet. Yeah. The flavour is very good.
Both the frozen fillets we tested ranked higher than the fresh and packaged ones.
Oh, so he's having another go now.
I am. This is my second helping.
With a sweet smell and a Tory score of 8 and 8.5, which is equivalent to fish sitting on ice for just 5 days.
We were right down at 5 with the stuff off the counter, and now we've got up to 8.5 for frozen. Yeah. I'm really shocked by that. You know, if I buy a bit of fresh fish like this from the supermarket, I'd expect it to be fresher than the frozen stuff, but that's not always the case.
Yeah, I buy frozen.
Do you buy frozen, do you?